Craziest food was definitely cow heart. He didn't tell us what he served us. A member made it for us. And me and my companion started eating it. It was rice and then this like meat thing. And we're pretty used to like random meat. But as we were eating it, we're like, this is like really hard. Like, what is this? And my companion was like, I think I know what it is, but I'm not going to ask him until after we're done eating. And so we finished eating. We're like, yeah, that was really good. What was it? And he was like, oh, it was heart. And she's like, I knew it. I knew it was heart. I was having a hard time. I was in an area. I was a new missionary. I was training. I didn't know what I was doing. My companion didn't know what she was doing. None of our investigators are progressing. It felt like the ward where we were was just kind of falling apart and wasn't supporting us very much. And I was reading in the Book of Mormon, trying to find an answer, trying to find comfort to my problem. And I just opened it up right to where I'd left off, and I was reading about Helaman as a missionary. And it talked about how he had taught priests and he had set up a church and everything was going great. And then all of a sudden the priests stopped being faithful and the people stopped listening. And I realized that Helaman was a wonderful missionary. And you can be the best missionary in the world, but sometimes it's not your fault when the people don't accept the message. But Helaman never gave up. He kept teaching and he kept trying and he kept preaching the word of God because he knows the value that it has. And the Spirit just witnessed to me that this is the Lord's work and it'll happen in the way that He wants it to happen. In my second area, I thought I was really good at Spanish, but I was still learning. And we were teaching this lady one time, and I wanted to tell her, when you feel the Spirit, you can know that the church is true with certainty. And so in Spanish, that would be, la iglesia es la verdad, con certeza. You will know with certainty. You'll know with certeza. But I said cerveza, which is beer. So I told her, when you feel the Spirit, you'll know that the church is true with beer. So that was pretty embarrassing. But I caught myself right after and I said, no, certeza. So it was all right. My companion got a good laugh out of it though. I think at the end of my mission, I think one of the things that missionaries struggle with is that they're trying to figure out how to be the best, but one important thing you have to do is be the best you. You can't be the best someone else. And I know that God has given us specific gifts and talents, and He wants us to use them in His work, in our way, and not try to be someone else. So I had a companion who is kind of soft-spoken like me. We're both patient, we're both good listeners. There's lots of other missionaries that are more exciting, that are funny, that are really good at telling stories, and are really good at explaining the doctrine. And I don't have all of those skills. And one day I was starting to feel bad, me and my companion, because we were feeling we're not very exciting, we're not the funniest missionaries. Like, we would probably be really better missionaries if we had some of those skills. And we visited one of our investigators, we had a couple investigators at the time who just like to talk and talk and talk for hours. And I think we were able to gain their confidence because we listened to them. And we were the only missionaries that had patience with these people and listened to them, realize what their problems were, and help them be able to find solutions through the gospel. And I remember we were sitting in this lesson with our investigator, and he was just talking and talking like always. And he paused for a moment and he said, thanks for listening. No one else really listens to me, but you guys listen to me. And we both felt the Spirit, and we were able to teach him about the restoration, about the gospel. And it was all because we had listened to him and we realized that God had given us that gift, that we were able to be listeners. And that was able to help so many of our investigators be able to come to know that the gospel is true, because we listened to them and helped them find solutions. And that was what they needed. I don't think there was other missionaries that could have done that for them. The Lord needed us to do that for them. There was lots of crazy weather in my mission. It rains a lot, and some of them are kind of like tropical storms. So it'll be sunny, and then all of a sudden it will just be like raining cats and dogs. There was one time, so when it does rain, we, as long as it's not dangerous weather, we go out and we keep working, and everyone looks at us and they say, "You're crazy. Why are you going outside? It's raining." Because when it rains out there, no one goes outside. All the natives, they just stay in their houses, at least in my experience. And there's one day where we were studying in the morning and it was raining. And I just looked outside and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to go outside first thing in the morning and get soaked and have to work all day in the rain. And so I started praying as hard as I could that it would just stop raining. And so we studied and we finished our studies, and we went downstairs, put on our shoes, kneeled down to say our prayer, to go outside. And we prayed that it would stop raining. We opened the door and it stopped raining. It was so cool. Keep reading the Book of Mormon. Keep praying and pray sincerely. Let the Lord know how you're doing. I didn't feel like it was too hard to adjust socially until a couple months later when I had the epiphany that, wow, I was really weird. And I think I was just really serious when I came back, and I wasn't used to being my normal self. And so just relax and try to remember what it was like to be yourself and to be able to go where you wanted, when you wanted.